Hey everyone, hope you guys are enjoying Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak in whichever platform you're choosing to play it on. And today I wanted to go over the fact that Capcom continues to make Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak better, and the game just keeps getting better and better because of it. They are doing a fantastic job providing us with weekly content, and this week it's no different as we wind up pretty much the free downloadable content route for this specific title. If you still don't necessarily know how to get your free downloadable content or any of the brand new package item free rewards or whatever the case may be, all you need to do is make your way down to Stairworks or in Elgato, speak to the courier cat, go all the way down to the add-ons options, and claim anything that's labeled in white, whether it is free item packs recently for PlayStation, Xbox, and Windows players, or Nintendo Switch and Steam players who just recently got a brand new pair of quests. One of which is going to be a brand new hazard quest called Lunagaron kind of a thing. It's a long howl type of situation. Hunting quest where you're hunting a Lunagaron in the Forlorn Arena. And in typical hazard fashion, not only does this Lunagaron have a brand new slew set of combos that you should be able to keep your eyes peeled, which you're going to go over in a second, but you also have some pretty funny rewards in the typical Monster Hunter fashion. Now, as far as the quest is concerned, being a hazard quest, a brand new hazard event quest, you do of course need to know that this version of Lunagaron will have higher health. That means also has higher damage, a little bit of higher damage output. It has better resistances. That means that it cannot necessarily be paralyzed or poisoned as easily. Obviously you can trap it. That is they don't become kind of like anomaly monsters where you cannot necessarily trap them. You can't do that with this one, but it does have higher resistances, it does have higher damage, it does have higher health. But the thing here is that not only do we all know that Lunagaron has two stages, the normal wolf version where he's kind of standing in floor, but then eventually once he howls, he powered up, he kind of gets ice all over his body, eventually he stands up, he howls again, and then powers up a second time. And now this time he's ready to do those deadly combos. Now, one of the things you're going to notice, not only in my gameplay, but if you do this quest on your own, you're going to notice that any sort of those range attacks that he usually does, he does big swipes directly down and he kind of like picks up the ground from underneath. He kind of does this swipe attack from a distance. It kind of just spreads the ground all over the place. A little bit of a fire, icy breath as well he does. All of those things have really massive range. They go relatively far, something that originally the normal Lunagaron version doesn't quite have. They have a relatively long range, so not only do you need to kind of get out of the way, but you kind of need to back out pretty far away as well. Another thing you're also going to notice is that those running attacks that it does, like whenever it kind of puts his body down and decides to like run from one way, zigzag to the other, those are going to have longer length as well, and the distance that they cover, they're going to be a little bit further away. He also has plenty of swipe, kind of like slash attacks. He kind of turns his entire body around a little bit. Those are now sped up. Those attacks usually were slower. He doesn't quite combine them in the normal version, but now he'll do the swipe right, swipe left, and like double swipe separately. So that is one of those combos that you certainly need to keep your eyes peeled for, because if he does catch you, especially if he knocks you back, you're just gonna end up getting eaten and most likely of course getting KO'd from that. I do still think that his range attacks are probably the most dangerous ones, only because of the range. It's surprisingly far the way that they're gonna catch you, but certainly you need to kind of like specially blade masters need to keep their distance from those swipes. So whenever you kind of see him wind up, he's gonna do that, and he can back it as well. So it's one of those where like he'll do the big ground kind of like spikes directly forward, and then he'll do it with one paw and then he'll do it with the other one. So you need to keep your eyes peeled on that. One of the things you'll notice that if you do knock him over, he'll very quickly kind of get back up. He doesn't stay staggered for too long, and then quickly back into like his powered up stage. So it's a double howl thing. So if you see him howl once, kind of like powered up, get ice all over his body, don't be too concerned. Just keep away at it, because he'll follow that up with the second howl and he'll power up again. So you do have maybe about a 15 to 20 second window while he powers up that you can actually wail at him. And if you can KO him and knock him on the ground, certainly take advantage of that. Now, one of the things you will notice is that the big kind of like air jump attacks, he does a big kind of like a wind up. He does a wind up, I believe he follows that up with like a little bit of a backflip, and then he'll quickly do like the icy breath directly forward attack. Those are also powered up as well, so it's one of those things where like they're a little bit faster than normal, but more importantly, you know, they're just, you know, more range. So more range means more possibilities for you to get caught up in the middle of that and just, you know, have a not necessarily a great time with that attack. So at the end of the day, oh, and also I should mention that whenever he does the pounce one, like he pounces and then he does the swipes, if those spikes are coming down from the ground underneath, kind of chase you, they can go diagonally. They don't necessarily have to go directly facing forward from where he's at. He can actually send that like right or left, regardless of where his body position is. So it's one of those things that I've not seen the normal one do this, but this version of him will certainly be doing that. Now, as you finish the quest, you shouldn't necessarily be too concerned with any sort of drops or whatever. He doesn't really drop anything special, because the actual reward for you get for doing this really awesome fight is just guild card titles. So, you know, while the quest of itself was a pretty dang fun one, the reward was not necessarily all that rewarding at the end of the day. It was a little bit of a bummer to see that they just give you guild card titles. But what we do end up getting here now is pretty much all the three Sunbreak monsters that were originally introduced. They now all have hazard versions of themselves. I don't quite understand or know why they decided to leave Lunagaron to the very end. Remember that last week we got Garangolm, before of course we had Malzeno. So now Lunagaron finally has his very own hazard quest, and this is pretty much the highest difficulty Lunagaron you're gonna fight. Even Anomaly Investigation Lunagaron or Special Investigation Lunagaron isn't as tough. Maybe damage wise, just raw damage wise, but like the combos that this one has are just so much more fun. So I do have to wonder if players will, you know, again, because you're not getting anomaly tiers or anomaly levels for doing these quests, will they actually just choose to farm these specific versions because they are much more fun? I mean, the fact that he has so much more health on this fight, I think it took, one of the quests that I did took about 8 minutes, the other one took 6, and the other one took about 7. So, you know, usually Lunagaron will go down in about 3 minutes, normally master rank, but this time around, because of the health gap, you know, that he has, just to put him in blue, it takes about 5 minutes. So it's one of those where, like, you know, at the end of the day, it's such a fun fight, such a better version of him, but because you're not getting anomaly levels, you know, people are probably going to end up skipping it all the less. But that's about all the information that I have for you guys today. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.